Get those hands up and grab hold! I think we have visitors. Whoa! Wonder if they're still looking. Woo! Ah! It's a delayed hallelujah, and yes, they're still looking. Get those hands up! Get those hands up! Get those hands up! Oh man, this sun, look at the sun. Look at it. This sun feels absolutely incredible. Unbelievable. Get those hands up and pray. Oh! I think the high today is 76, 77. Unbelievable day. It's going to be, I don't know the next time it's going to rain. It rained a little bit yesterday, but it didn't bother me at all. Not at all. Let's take a look around, boys. I think this is Maryland over here across the, I don't know if this is an inlet to the Potomac, or if it's Potomac or whatever, but here we go. Can you say this place has "I'm sleeping here tonight" all over it? I don't know how wise that would be, but I could probably get away with it. But yeah, I mean, been nosing around today. Believe it or not, I tried to get into the Swedish embassy. Now, I just thought they wouldn't let me in because I'm carrying around all this stuff. And come to find out, I'm just kind of hanging out there. And when I first tried to get in there, the guy says, "Hey, can I help you?" And I go, do you realize who I am? And he says, "I'm sorry, but you have to have an appointment." And I just thought, well, I'm getting the brush off, but I asked another lady, I offered to help this lady move some stuff in, and she said, "No, this is the Swedish embassy." But if I'd have had the wherewithal, and I was thinking straight, I would have said, "Well, I'm Norwegian, I'm Scandinavian." I don't know how much good that would do, but I mean, it sounds good, doesn't it? Get them up and brim. Oh! But yeah, I like it down here. It's green. It's by the river, and I should have come down here. I've been sleeping in the shadow of the Senate, where they house the senators' offices, I guess, and that's fine too. Because I'm going in and out of Amtrak. I used Amtrak yesterday to get on. You know, I got a $5 ticket to anywhere on the planet, and I went to Baltimore for the Orioles-Rays game, and man, what a thriller! What a barn burner, man! I was dragging a little bit, but you know, as even in the 8th inning, top of the 8th, the Rays hit two back-to-back home runs to make it a 2-run lead, and I thought, I felt a little melancholy after that. And I thought, well, you know, I'm bringing bad luck or something. And so I was getting ready to leave. So it took me about 2-3 years to get down from the nosebleed sections. And I got down to the first level. And man, I heard 40,000 fans just erupt. And I go, oh, because the same thing happened to me last week at the Phillies game when Bryce Harper hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth to tie the game. Well, and the Phillies are a playoff team too, but the Phillies lost in the 10th. But So it was 3-2 going into the bottom of the, going 3-2 going in the top of the ninth. And I was determined to stay for a number of reasons, notwithstanding the fact that now I was in the most expensive seats there, field level. So I went ahead and stayed, and then drama happened in the top of the ninth. The Rays had a guy on third. Somehow they got an infield bloop or something happened, and the guy came home. And I mean, it was a close play, and they at the plate, and they called him safe. And you could have heard the boo birds from 10 miles away. But they did a review, and it took forever to do that review, but everybody had a feeling they were going to overturn it and call the bad guys out. And sure enough, after about 5 minutes, they called him out, and that place turned into a ground zero of nuclear war. The crowd just completely exploded, and I think that energized the bench for the Orioles, because they came out in the bottom of the ninth, still down a run, and the odds aren't too good when you're down a run like that. But oh man, somehow they have this crazy rule now. I didn't even know this is a rule. They have a rule where they put no, this is the top of the ninth, so the rule hadn't been in effect yet. But got a guy on second base, and somebody came through at the bottom of the ninth, single, and I thought a hydrogen bomb had gone off, because the fans just went berserk. I got a lot of this stuff on tape, but then when the new rule went into effect, they put a guy in extra innings to shorten the game, I guess, which is probably a good idea. But it tends to lead to a lot of sudden death situations, because you're starting off with a guy on second base, and that guy has a good percentage chance of scoring, or at least a decent percentage. And so they scored in the top of the 10th. We scored in the bottom of the 10th. Then they didn't score in the top of the 11th. And we scored in the bottom of the 11th, or maybe it was the 12th. I don't know. But it was so exciting the whole time. And I got my second win, and I was praising God. I think all the other 50, 70,000 were praising the players. I was praising God, because I thought it was just a special gift for me, because I was feeling bad. I thought, every game that I've gone to, the home team has lost. Now, in one instance, I didn't care, because the home team were the Mets, and they lost to my beloved Rangers, Texas Rangers, who I see falling apart right now, so no matter. But anyway, yeah, that turned out to be really, really cool. And so everybody was in a good mood. I mean, because the Phillies clinched. I've never been to, well, maybe I have. I've been to a clinching game before, I think, with Texas Rangers. But this was dramatic, because the Phillies clinched a playoff berth, and they've got a two-game lead going into the last 10 or 11 games, whatever it is. But a $5 ticket to get there, $15 ticket to get in the gates. Yeah, I don't regret it. It was an absolutely magnificent experience. One thing I've been noticing that, with all this junk right here, I'm always looking for some wheels and gravity. I like wheels and gravity. And in Philadelphia, on one of these daily diary entries, I found a shopping cart, and this takes a lot of the tiring pressure off your shoulders and your walking, everything else, because obviously you're just pushing a shopping cart. I look like a maniac, but at least I didn't have to carry everything around all day. Same thing happened yesterday in Baltimore. I went to Safeway after the game to get some stuff for today. believe it or not, it's not as easy as you might think getting to different stores around here. But we're at the 10-minute mark. We're going to have to go to part 2, so get them up.